Okay, so now we're going to move over to our arrangement view. We can do this by clicking up in the top right hand corner. You've got the horizontal lines or vertical lines. So if we click our horizontal lines, this will take us to our arrangement view. We can get our clips into the arrangement view by simply picking up a clip, moving it over to the horizontal lines, and then dropping it wherever we please. Because I've had this session previously loaded, all the tracks are already actually loaded in. But when you are switching between session view and arrangement view, it will change some of the way you can hear the clips and play the clips. So if I play my clips now in the arrangement view, we won't hear anything. Because Ableton thinks that we are still over in the session view, that's why our clips are sort of faded down a little bit like this. But we can simply fix this by clicking this sort of global play button up the top here, and that will activate all of our clips in the arrangement view now. So if we now listen to that, just turn it down a little bit. Okay, so we can hear that all good. Now in the arrangement view, our tracks will now appear horizontally, cascading down, sort of more of a timeline approach. We can change the view of our different tracks by clicking the little arrow here next to the track. So this will drop it down. We can now change the view size of our clip by simply finding that little double arrow again, clicking and holding and dragging up and down. We can make that as big as we like. We also have a, you can do to all function. If you select the top track, hold down Shift and select the last track. Now we should be able to change the view options for all of the tracks selected. Now we can simply fold those back in while they're all still selected. So we can do to all of them, like so. Okay, let's click out of that. Now, your zooming options are pretty much the same in this window. So if we move our cursor to the top, the bar of the timeline here, where our little magnifying glass appears, clicking and holding and dragging up and down, we can zoom in and out on our session, and left and right to move across the timeline. You've also got a couple of different grid view options here. So let's just have a little look. Okay, so this is how the sort of the grid is divided up with these little lines. If we right click on the clip, this will bring up sort of a clip menu where we can change our grid view options. So you have a fixed grid here, which will fix the grid to whatever you choose. You can choose quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, etc. So when we zoom in and out, those sort of grid divisions will pretty much stay the same. Like they won't increase or decrease, they'll stay the same. You've also got this adaptive grid, which is a little bit different in the way that it works when you zoom in and out. These lines will sort of increase and decrease as you zoom in and out. So as we zoom out, they should get less and less. So you can see them getting less, and we zoom in, more start to appear. And this will change dependent on the setting you've chosen for your grid. So I've got narrow here, which should be quite small increments. If I change it to a wide, they should sort of space out quite a bit. So that's a couple of your grid options there. Within the clips themselves, we can do some editing as well. If you hover your mouse cursor on the clip heading, either to the left or right, a little bracket will appear, and with this we can change the length of our clips dependent on the grid we've set up. So that's probably a bit too much for what we want. We can change it back to our narrow grid, or we can even turn the grid completely off, and this will give us a bit more freedom in the way that we can sort of edit our clips. We can also sort of create a cut in our clips or a split in our clips. We can do this either by selecting the region we want to cut and right clicking on our selected area and splitting here, or we can also use the keyboard function Control E. Will create us a split, and we can do whatever we like to that clip. So we can also, if we want to hear a particular section of our song, we can also just highlight a certain section. Oops. We can highlight a certain section here. And we can either adjust our selection manually by the little bar at the top here, or if we've selected a section, we can Control L that, and that will create a loop of our selected sample that we perhaps want to use for editing and whatnot. Something like that. What else? Our clips will also show any automation that we may have via this sort of red dotted line, which turns solid when you move your mouse to it. We can change the source of our automation in the first drop down box here. So if I want to select the pitch here, now I can also change what parameters are being automated in the second drop down box. So if we click on that, we can change the pitch and paint something in like so. Something like that. And that's pretty much it as far as the main differences in the arrangement view to the session view are. And we'll come back and we'll talk about actually loading in the clips in the next video.